Welcome to King Stock and Crypto Channel.
King, for the kids, what is a stock?
A stock means you own a share of a company.
Welcome to the channel, guys, and we have a lot of entertainment going on right now. But of course, I'm going to speak about it on my other channel. But guys, we had the Fed speak yesterday, Jerome Powell. I did a video yesterday on my other channel. Please go check it out. But Jerome Powell stated they're going to continue on raising rates. Now, because of the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the Bank of England has pushed back their rate hike to September 22nd. And we know our Fed is going to be raising rates on the 21st. So that's definitely going to put a rumble in the market. And of course, I'm going to go over that more on the other channel. But guys, we have Kathy Wood says that the Fed is going to pivot within 3 to 6 months. And we're going to start seeing deflation. And yes, part of that is correct. We're definitely going to start seeing hyper deflation, but they're not going to pivot. Jerome Powell stated yesterday they're going to keep raising until they get to that 2%. Now, we had Janet Yellen yesterday say that the White House policies rescue the U.S. economy. But we also know these policies caused inflation. But guys, getting over into the actual stocks, we have T-Mobile announces a $14 billion share buyback. Now, T-Mobile's management said that they could invest up to $60 billion from 2023 to 2025. And guys, we know these share buybacks are all about manipulating the stock. We know share buybacks were illegal until Reagan changed the law. Before, the companies used to reinvest back into their companies and then also give the actual employees shares in the company. And we know all that has changed. But T-Mobile is one of the few companies where you can clearly see their stock just keeps going up. And we have Verizon and AT&T have taken a hit. But we know those are dividend stocks where you're not going to get a big bounce, but they normally stay steady. But they've been moving down. And then, of course, Elon Musk has teamed up with T-Mobile. Now, we have Mercedes-Benz and Rivian, which should say Amazon, team up to build electric commercial vans in Europe. And we know Rivian stock took a beating, I think dropped all the way down to $19, but it has bounced back almost double. Now, we know these electric vehicles are new, so there's still a lot of consolidation that needs to happen inside this market. But if you have Amazon behind you, you're going to be fine. Now, you have CVS to buy home health giant Signify Health for about $8 billion. And we see technology moving in on healthcare. Over these next 2 years, healthcare is going to be transformed. But there's going to be trillions of dollars to be made. And Walgreens and CVS are definitely going to benefit. And speaking of the technology transformation, of course, you have to have chips. And the chip stocks, you know I love Intel and NVIDIA. But especially Intel. Intel is taking a hit like I went over on so many occasions on the stock channel before. Intel is one of the few companies that have real numbers. Not going 20, 30, 100 times earning. And now Intel is going to benefit from Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, of course, which was the Build Back Better bill. Now, getting over into the actual indicators, we have yield rates, which are slightly up. We have the dollar, which is slightly down, which is helping stocks, and we have the VIX down. Now, in my last video, I left a Bank of America video on how they're helping minorities buy a home. Now we have Citi doing the same thing. They're helping people buy homes at the time where interest rates are at its highest. And property values are going to be on its way down. But guys, I'm going to leave you with Larry Fink. Larry Fink wants you back in the office because he's saying production is going down. What a difference a year makes. But guys, that's all I have for you, and you have a wonderful day.
I think we're gonna see changes in the workforce, and let me just emphasize that. If you look at the statistics that came out of the United States for U.S. productivity, in the second quarter, productivity was down 4%, and the first quarter fell over 7%.
Oh, God.
That's very inflationary, and I believe productivity is falling in the United States quite a bit because
we're talking 75 basis points, definitely, and maybe 2 or 3 more of those.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a 3.5, 3.75 short-term rate, which I don't find that troublesome.
Right.
What I find more troublesome is the fall in productivity. When you have falling of productivity, that's very inflationary. I think we have to get our employees back in the office.
I was going to ask you about that. What are you doing about that?
Yeah.
Well, when you see the collapse in productivity, you have to ask what is going on. And I think in the first year of COVID, I think it was remote working worked fantastically. But we're now on the 2.5-year anniversary. It's going on, and now we're starting to see the failure of what that is being done, and we're seeing this collapse in productivity. I think if we magically had more and more people coming back to office, I think we would see rising productivity again. That will offset some of the inflation.
So, are you at BlackRock doing what David Solomon and James Gorman's doing, and saying we want you back, your rear ends back at your desk?
So, I'm not sure. They have not formally announced what they're doing, so I can't speak about what they're doing. We are going to ask our employees to be much more mindful about their responsibilities in the office. We're going to be taking harder line as to how do we bring our employees back. And we believe this is going to be a key element in bringing down inflation, rising in productivity. So I think all of this we're facing the consequences of COVID. That has created this inflationary pressure alongside governmental policies, alongside, obviously, a war in Ukraine. All of these are hitting at the same time. And, and it just makes it harder for our central banks and the other central banks to really, to move the dial. And and if they have to be more aggressive, then could it lead to a recession? Yes. However, if we can successfully migrate more and more people back in the office, if we could stabilize productivity in America and having elevated productivity, that could be a great offset, and that could make the Federal Reserve's job to be a little less difficult, and it then may lead to a less aggressive Fed. So I look at these as all triangulated, and we're going to have, we have to see how this all plays
in this country. We'd be remiss if we didn't ask you, where are you investing right now? You have also been very much at the forefront of ESG, but what do you see as far as better investments in, let's just say, the near term?
Well, we have been one of the largest investors in gas pipelines in the world. I mean, we provided over $14 billion in equity in Saudi Arabia to build their gas pipeline, which is now going to be used ultimately to export to offset the Russian gas. We financed the gas pipeline in Abu Dhabi. We were the builder and constructor of the pipeline from Texas to Mexico City for a gas pipeline. This is something that we've always believed in. We have always believed in any ESG or any energy transition. Gas is going to play a central role for the next 50 years.
Yeah, and